are top of the standings in Group C, though, and they have equalled Spain's record of 35 international matches unbeaten. This is their unbeaten run so far. Their last loss back on September 10th of 2018, and that was to Portugal, and a number of clean sheets there as well, 23. What did you make of Italy today, Nicky?
I thought there was some really good, and there was a certain amount of complacent. It felt like after that first goal, there was perhaps a little bit of presumption in the team that, okay, we have won literally every qualifier we've played under Roberto Mancini. We've just won the Euros. This is Bulgaria. They've played 6 games under Petrov and they haven't won any of them. And perhaps there was just a little bit too much presumption that a second goal was going to come, that things were going to be straightforward, which in the end they weren't. And in the second half, I thought maybe some of Mancini's changes weren't quite right to open up the game. I don't think it's a result that Italy need to worry about. As I say, he's won every previous qualifying game he had between the Euros and now the World Cup qualifying. So sooner or later, you're going to have that night when the ball just doesn't quite roll for you. I thought Federico Chiesa was once again electric. Interesting to see that back-to-back with Kulusevski, by the way, who for Juventus hasn't been doing so well, but for Sweden still has that same energy. And you think, well, there's that post-Ronaldo future we talk about. But Chiesa has just got something, I think at the moment in particular, but in general, where when you see him with the ball at his feet, it just sparks go through you. You know something's going to happen, and it did tonight. He has that bit of magic, and he's becoming something really, really special. I felt like Italy, as a team, there were things lacking, but I think that with the game against Switzerland coming up against the weekend, there's obviously some pressure. Switzerland are the other team in that group who are unbeaten. They've only played 2 games. But I don't think this needs to be a result that Italy are going to worry about too much just yet.
What were your thoughts on them, Gab?
I thought they played well. I mean, I look at the chances created, the chances conceded. I think I could be mistaken, but I thought the goal was Bulgaria's only shot on goal. That doesn't concern me as much. They're going to be behind because, physically, because most Serie A clubs, where most of the players come from Serie A, where they started the season a little bit later. Unlike Nicky, though, I am a little bit concerned about the Switzerland game because, as we know from last time around, and I'm so comfortable with it that I'm willing to jinx it. When you've got 2 teams in the group and only one is guaranteed a spot, then you risk the playoffs. And in the playoffs, anything can happen. So I think, I'm not saying Switzerland is necessarily a must-win, but it's obviously a situation where if you don't get your way, you risk finding yourself in second place. And that's not a great place to be in. But as for that kind of presumption, I think that is what Nicky called it, that's the flip side of confidence, right? So when you're playing well, when you're saying, yeah, the goal will come, we're in control, we're creating chances, we're stroking the ball around, and then it does, then you score, it's like, oh, look, how great, you were confident. And then when you do it and you don't score, then, oh, were you being a little bit arrogant? I don't know. I think they're in good shape at this stage in terms of performance. Obviously, 3 wins would have been a lot better.
Nicky, I hear you laughing there.
Yeah, Gab's right, of course. If the game doesn't go that way, if Iliev doesn't score the one chance, that confidence is it's that line between arrogance and confidence, isn't it? It's not arrogance if you back it up. And Italy could easily, I think 9 times out of 10, would win this game comfortably. Fascinating little story with Iliev, by the way, who's just joined from a Bulgarian second division team, has joined Ascoli in Italy. So he's just coming to Italy and has sort of heralded himself as a Serie B player, in fact, with this goal, and he took it very well. I do think if we're talking about presumption, it's not so much the attack, who, yes, had chances, maybe again on another night one of those goes in. Georgiev made some great saves. I thought Florenzi was a little bit just too the opposite of sort of feeling confident and going forward, just a little bit too relaxed on the ball, really is what I mean with presumption, and gave that away a bit cheaply, and perhaps the tracking defender inside as well just wasn't as alive to that threat as they should have been.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.